I wanted to make a quick video about the because clause because we ran out of time at the end of class. So, and we didn't have time to do the conversation. So parents, you're just going to have to teach this at home, and you're well capable. And it's all in the IEW book. And Poudrois takes us through it so good, and you'll have no problem teaching it. But I thought I would just do a little quick video for the students if they wanted to watch. So if you just were to read this verbatim, it's such a good explanation. So the because clause, it says, is a clause or a group of words with a subject and a verb. So the only difference, though, is if you have a subject and a verb, that's a complete sentence. But once you add a because clause to it, so what is a because clause? Where have we heard because before? If you think about it and you think through all of your songs, you think, oh, because I've heard that in Asia Love. When, while, where, as, since, if, although, whereas, unless, because, who, which introduces a dependent clause. So we can have a because clause, it makes it a dependent clause. So it says that we have a sentence with a subject and a verb, that's a standalone sentence. But once we add because, and then we have another subject with a sentence with a subject and a verb, and suddenly we have a dependent clause because we have a because clause on it. So the sentence that I'll be explaining or using as an example is, oh, here, we don't have to write that yet. Francisco is starving. He hasn't eaten since breakfast. So if you notice, Francisco is starving has a subject and a verb. So it is a standalone sentence. He hasn't eaten since breakfast has a subject and a verb. So it's also a standalone sentence. But what if we wanted to join these? We would add the word because. We're going to make that lowercase. So this because is suddenly attached to this sentence. So all of a sudden when we attach the dependent or the word because to this sentence, it becomes dependent. It still has a subject and a verb, but it's dependent. The other thing to note about the comma rule is you can have your independent clause and your dependent clause in this order, or you can do it like this too. So we could totally switch these and say Francisco, or because he hasn't eaten since breakfast, Francisco is starving. If you swap the order, that's when you need the comma. So we could write this. Because Francisco hasn't eaten since breakfast. Since we're starting with the dependent clause, that's when you need the comma. He is starving. So you'd underline your because, and you have to have a comma if you start it out. Otherwise, you don't need the comma. So that is the because clause. So if you do it the other way around, no comma. If you do it like this, you need a comma, and that's it. Thank you.